Welcome back, students. Yesterday we have started a topic, the claim to paramountcy. Right. In this we were discussing how in the earlier first we have discussed about the war of the Marathas. Then we came to know that when the three wars were being completed, so the Marathas were being cleared, vanished very easily by the company. So paramountcy, I told you, to have an extreme power on something. That means supremacy, right? Or you can say supreme. So, it is clear from the above that from the early 18th century, the company pursued an aggressive policy, right? This we have done about the threatening, and the company had started giving threatenings to the rulers that they should be annexing their properties to the companies, and those annexed properties will be beneficial for the company people, right? This process, however, did not unchallenged. For example, when the British tried to annex the small state of Kittur in Karnataka today, Rani Chennamma took to arms and led an anti-British resistance movement. Now what happened is, as the company was thinking that they will be annexing all the properties and will be ruling and will be becoming a supreme in the country, it was not a good or easy task. It was a challenging to them, because in Kittur, that is at present it is in Karnataka, the Rani Chennamma took in the arms and had led a movement that is anti-British movement. That means she was against the British company rules. She was arrested in 1824 and died in prison in 1829. Right. So when she have started that anti-British movement, she was being arrested by the Britishers in 1824. And was sent to prison, and for a long time she has been in prison, and in the prison only in 1829 she died. But Rayanna, a poor chowkidar of Sangoli in Kittur, carried on the resistance. Now when the Rani died, after the death of the Rani also there was one more person, that is Rayanna. He was a poor chowkidar. He carried on that anti-British movement. With popular support, he destroyed many British camps and records. Now, as he was getting popular support from the different people, he has been able to destroy the British camp and their records. He was caught and hanged by the British in 1830. You will read more about several cases of resistance later in the book. In the late 1830s, the East India Company became worried about Russia. It imagined that Russia might expand across Asia and enter India from the northwest. Now what happened when Britishers were having these challenges in the India in 1830s? The company was worried because of Russians, right? They thought Russians will be coming across the Asia and will be entering India from the northwest. Driven by this fear, the British now wanted to secure their control over the northwest. Now, because of this fear, what does British wanted to do? They wanted to secure their control over northwest, right? Because of the Russians, they were sure that Russia will enter India from the northwest. So before Russians to come India, Britishers wanted their control should be held over there. They sought a prolonged war with Afghanistan between 1838 to 1842 and established indirect company rule here. Now, for that, to expand their power, they had a fought with Afghanistan between 1838 and 1842 and have established an indirect company rule over there. Sindh was taken over in 1843. Right. Next in line was Punjab, but the presence of Maharaja Ranjit Singh held back the company. Now, slowly after winning the Afghanistan, they have captured the Sindh also in 1843. The Britishers had captured 1843. The next target was Punjab, but Punjab was a very difficult challenge from them because of the Maharaja Ranjit Singh. After his death in 1839, two prolonged wars were fought with the Sikh kingdoms. Ultimately, in 1849, Punjab was annexed. Then what happened is, till Ranjit Singh was the Maharaj of the Punjab, the British were not able to annex the property of his territory. So after that, when he died, after his death, there were two more big wars were being fought with the Sikh kingdoms, and at last in 1849 Punjab was being annexed by the Britishers. Children, next topic is the doctrine of lapse. The final wave of annexation occurred under Lord Dalhousie, who was the Governor General from 1848 to 1856. Now what happened is annexation, children, we are talking about this word continuously, that to take over the property or land of someone. It came to a final peak extreme, right? And this peak point of annexation came in the rule and the power of Lord Dalhousie in 1848 to 1856. He devised a policy that came to be known as doctrine of lapse. Now what happened is he has you can say proceeded with policy which came to be known as doctrine of lapse. The doctrine declared that if an Indian ruler died without a male heir of his kingdom, would lapse, that is, become a part of company territory. Right, now what does this what was the policy of Lord Dalhousie? That if any king died without having any male heir, that is the king's, there is no male person in the family to succeed his throne, automatically that property will be annexed to the Britishers. One kingdom after another was annexed simply by applying this doctrine. Satara, Sambalpur, Udaipur, Nagpur and Jhansi. Right, so these are the places which were being directly annexing the properties under British, because the kings were not having any successor, a male successor to take over their throne after their death. Finally, in 1856, a company also took over Awadh. This time the British had to add argument. They said that they were obliged by duty to take over Awadh in order to free people from the misgovernment of the Nawabs. Now what happened is in 1856 when company took over Awadh, what were the things or the argument that they were putting to take over the territory of Awadh was that they are helping the people, or they are making people free from the misgovernment of the Nawabs. That is the unruling way, the unwillingness of the Nawabs, that the people were not free in their place. Enraged by the humiliating way in which the Nawab was disposed and the manner through which the Nawabs are treating the people, the company has argued about these things also. The people of Awadh joined the great revolt that broke out in 1857. Then what happened is, as the people of Awadh have started struggling for the freedom, and from there the struggle for freedom started, and that revolt, that biggest movement that started, it started in 1857.